Okay, I'm just saying that okay, stage 3 and 4, we define it first as you're wheelchair bound, stage 3. You really cannot decide for yourself already, stage 4. Either you're bedridden or maybe you got dementia, no? That means you really need to be quite dependent on others. So stage 3 actually depending on condition. Actually stage 3, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is defined in our aged homes in Singapore. That's how the government will charge you by your different stages. If you're in stage 1, they charge you less. If you're in stage 4, that means bedridden, they charge you a lot higher. So that's by definition quite recognized in Singapore as the different stages when you'll be charged in the old age home. And that's varying according to your dependency. So stage 1 and 2 wasn't very successful last time because I think when stage 1 and 2 everybody will do their own thing. There's no need to actually worry about it, Stage 3 and 4 is the time you worry, and then maybe there's some time that we all don't want to think about it. But sooner or later, if we hit it, then maybe by the time then you want to start to think about it, probably the options are not there, huh? So stage 3 is defined as wheelchair bound, and then definition wheelchair bound meaning and maybe you can also lock in the how many of the daily activities that you can or cannot do. That's covered under the medishield, is it, or elder shield. So these are the definitions of stage 3 lah. Perhaps wheelchair bound, but actually a lot of wheelchair bound can still be quite active. So probably wheelchair bound stage 3, you got those very active, and then those that cannot be still, they are not quite dependent. Stage 4, of course, is quite bad now. That means you are bedridden. You probably be fully dependent on people. One definition of dementia is some dementia, they are still physically quite alright. Only mentally they cannot function anymore. So that could be in 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. So okay, I'll do a quick one. Then you all can all put in your ideas. I just set the base. Now, what are the options of care if you are in stage 3 or 4? Of course, one is at home, you get a maid. If you're in stage 4, you probably need two, really, to give you that kind of attention. We talk about the cost later, right? Now, if you are in stage 3, if you are still mobile, you probably need a maid to help out with me. But when you're in stage 4, you need some medical attention all the time. I just to give an example, I've got a brother-in-law had a stroke, totally dependent for 8 years. Of course, my sister looked after him very well at home, But you need two-person actually to look after that, to look after a guy in stage 4. Now the option is whether you want to stay at home or you go to a home. Of course, staying at home, two-person is still a very tough job because you need you need some medical experience for for some of the occasions. Of course, you can depend on home nursing foundation, and you can hire part-time nurses to come to give some assistance. I understand that in Singapore, some of the hospitals they do send out teams to help look after you at home. So that's one choice. The next choice is that many people will just leave their parents in a home. In a home, probably the attention is there not for the medical part, but I think the psychological part is probably absent. I think I would prefer to be at home than to be in the center, right? That's what I originally thought until I saw the video that was actually sent by by parents about this guy singing happily in a old folks home. So this is a choice maybe we all can think. The two very obvious choice the third one that actually Terence and a few of us were talking about is that if we can choose our people staying together, that means now we look for a place to stay all together, probably in GB where the cost is low. then we got to start thinking about arranging all the medical services that is available, you know. Then of course many will want to stay with family lah. That's also one choice. So I don't know what's your idea. My original opinion, I look after my mother at home, was that we get a maid and then look after at home, which is of course a better care. The cost may not be expensive too, you know? Because I know of another friend whose parents are put at home. I put in the nursing homes. Without subsidy, the basic charge is like 3,000 plus. Then plus everything that you use, you know, Pampers lah, you take ambulance to hospital visits, all kind of things. You can end up $4,000 on the open ward, you know, on the open ward, not in the rooms. So the cost of staying in the homes without subsidy will definitely be more expensive than staying at home, even if you hire two maids. If you hire, but now he told me that they got subsidy after a few rounds. The cost will still be about $2,000 to stay in the home at today's price, you know, at today's price. If you get two maids, how much will it be? About $2,000 for the maids, right? So in terms of money wise, it may not be expensive to stay at home compared to going to a nursing home. So that's my thought. Maybe I don't want to hog this thing. You all have your own. Can you all just have your own opinions? Just see what we think about either staying at home or going to a nursing home, or trying to get a group of people like-minded, forge some for the moment where we are early, forge this group of people that, you know, will at least for stage 3 stay together. Yeah, open to everybody. What are your thoughts when you hit
okay, it is
stage 3?
Good that if we form a group, stage 3 to form a group to stay together, most important, this group must get along well, must be able to give and take. If not, there'll be a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Unless I think it's good only if you have no families, immediate family. If you have immediate family, I think it's good that since the cost at the nursing is more expensive, I think staying at home with two maids would be better. At least you know that you are surrounded by your loved ones. That is my thought.
I heard of retirement village in Singapore. No? That is like
There's one I saw along Upper Thomson Road, near the just after the plaza, just newly built along the main road of Upper Thomson, across the condo tower. It's called Azure, but it's going to be very expensive. At least maybe a room, $5,000-6,000.
wow.
By the time we get older, inflation will catch up. We probably be paying much more.
Quite expensive, 5,000-6,000. So
No,
I suppose
actually,
it's run by private lah.
Yeah, that's private. That's private lah. But even like this friend of mine, now both parents are in the same home. They are paying at least 2,000 a month each with subsidy. So the cost but in spite of that they still put the both parents in the home, because I think a lot of things a lot of reasons. Because two of them if they easily get two maids at home they can still get looked after. But
the thing is, who is going to look after?
That's the problem.
There's a main caregiver, which is the family, I guess, not the maid, right? So that one is, I think it's very stressful to take care of the parents. One is already stressful, two is worse.
Yeah, correct. So two is stressful, right? In that sense, so it's not just the cost, they I think also you need the knowledge, the medical knowledge. If they are really like now, this 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 dad in the nursing home hit his leg, then his toe turned gangrene. So he's already 80, 90 years old. So these are all the medical problems. Although we think that at home is best, but the moment you have medical problems, it's very hard to stay at home. Your leg turn gangrene, you need dressing every day,
Oh, that
Every day
one,
you need to change the dressing. so 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 staying at home, like you say, is stress. It's very stressful.
especially bedridden. I mean,
Yeah.
you see, they cannot go to toilet. No, you have to clean them up. No, so you have a
can I ask you, what is your question?
No. At the moment,
No, what is your question to the forum? What is your
no. At
question
the
to
moment,
everybody?
we just letting them express their opinion whether stay at home or go to a home or nursing home.
Okay, maybe we
What is
should
the choice?
let our participants give their comments. What about you, Su Chan?
Oh, I think I would choose to stay in a home.
Stay in the home,
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to impose on because I only got one child, and by then, if I reach that kind of old age, I don't think I need to bother anybody. But then perhaps my family should be able to afford that kind of fork out the amount every month, to pay to those caregivers. So I would prefer to stay in the home.
Okay, what about Anne?
Me, I always look for go for good health, and I will not project for dependency, and not not at all in a home, never. Yeah,
You won't want to go into a home, is it?
no.
Okay, what about Ju Seng? Ju Seng, you're muted.
You're
We can't
muted,
hear you.
yeah.
Thinking about old age.
Muted. Still muted.
Ju Seng, we cannot hear you.
Jose, you're muted. We cannot hear you. You're
The host can unmute him.
Yeah, quite many people muted.
Okay, we move on. James Chan, can you please give your comments to Ong's question?
I think choosing between the home and your own home, I think I would choose our own home where we have our loved ones. Sometimes they can come by, and then I have a mother who's 99 years old. Right now, it's surprising she's not suffering from dementia, but we won't want to send her to a home. Instead, what we do is that we employ a maid, and we train the maid to help her for her toilet and so maids can be trained to do that, and then train her to do the massage for my mom every morning and every evening. You see, so she's quite happy about it, and we are happy because anytime we can go and see her. There's no restriction of hours, because that's my mom. I think even if when I reach the age of 98, I will still want to stay at home.
Actually, I think that's the ideal. That's the ideal.
So that's my comment as far as.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we move on to Daniel Chan.
Oh, hello. Good evening, everybody. Okay, I just joined in. So what was the question again?
The thing is to discuss whether when we grow old and we become dependent, do we want to stay at home, or do we want to go to a home?
Oh, there's no place like home, but which home? That's the question. Oh, Now, actually, that depends on the condition, my condition. If I'm sick, I need medical care. Of course, I will want to have a nursing home. Or if you need medical care. But if you are still well and be running about, staying at our own home, also very much depend on the medical condition.
Yeah, I think that's
at that stage.
yeah. That seems the sensible thing to do, lah.
Yeah.
But actually up to a point, like I said, I have seen, actually I've got two experiences. One, my own mom, dementia. We still keep her at home, but I think in terms of what I can see compared to a home, if you are dementia, you need a lot of patience. If you get into a kind of dementia where you get disorientated, you get aggressive and all that, yeah.
Maybe I relate a little bit. I relate a little bit experience about my mother, my late mother. She has passed on. When she was staying in a home, some of those nurses, maybe they were too busy, or they simply did not care. The mother wet herself, on the bed. It took such a long time for them to come and clean. Until we went to visit, we saw her in such a condition. Then we had to ask the supervisor, ask around for somebody to come and help clean her up. They took their time, or maybe they had no time. So it's quite pitiful, I mean, if you look at your loved one lying there and then in a pool of urine, so that was my experience with that kind of home.
I think apart from that, I mean, the care is one thing, In certain hospitals, when they have dementia ward, they tie the patients up,
Yeah, I know.
That's the worst, They tie them up because they are worried they'll fall from the bed.
Correct.
They're worried they'll get up. Some even fight, get aggressive. So in wards, in hospital wards, they tie them up.
Yeah, they have their reason to do that, but then you are the loved one, you look at that, you feel very pitiful.
Correct.
How could they do such a thing?
Yeah, but I tell you, looking after dementia is a different set of experience that can be learned quite easily. But if you are a medical condition, like this friend of mine, the father's toe, all the 5 toes all turned black already because of gangrene. Every day you need to change dressing, So I heard that there's a kind of maid, a category that are medically trained to do these kind of things. I don't know, but maybe by the time you get older, you'll get to you have them. But if you are in medical condition, then a home should be considered
And then also the home that you go to is very important. There's so many types of home. I believe the cost will be proportional to the care they give you, hopefully. So if you go to those that are really low cost one, I think they're suffering.
Okay, maybe we move on to Cheryl. Cheryl, could you give us your comments to Ong's question?
I think I'm like Anne. Try my best to keep healthy. So yeah, and with the protection of my God, probably I wouldn't. But if let's say worst comes to worst, I need I still prefer to stay at home, because home, sweet home, where our loved ones are around. Nothing beats being at home rather than being in a place with strangers and all that. Even though your loved one can come and visit you, your loved ones can come and visit you, but
thank you.
I still prefer home.
Hey, when you say loved ones come to visit you, that means they're not staying together with you.
The home, right? You're talking about home one.
Yeah, at your own home.
No, I'm talking about the nursing home. Sorry.
No. I'm talking about. Oh, wait. Okay. Now we just say either nursing home or home so that you don't get mixed up.
Home, yeah.
So you say you prefer to stay in a nursing home or to stay in a home?
Home.
Yeah.
Home.
So, but you have to stay with your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
There must be people living with you, Yeah.
Correct.
Of course, I think that's still ideal,
Yeah. I think everybody wants that, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's hear from the rest.
Okay, what about Dolly?
Oh, I think I still prefer to stay at a nursing home. I know the Singapore contingent of a nursing home cannot be very fantastic, but then it's better than you stay there and prepare yourself for whatever worse that comes. If you are already at stage 3, if you are at stage 3, you still be very, very agile and you still can move around at your convenience. But when you're at stage 4, you have to accept that there's no way that people can take good care of you. So you must well plan yourself ahead. Whatever it is, when you got no choice, meaning you got no choice. It can never be good in Singapore nursing home. Then maybe you think, you balance yourself, whether you want to think it, you want to be at nursing home at JB or nursing home at Singapore. That's about all I can think about it for myself right now. Because right now people can tell me, say, oh, it's nothing but back home. That is because you all never go through the stage of caring people at home right now. I'm looking at my mother, I'm caring for my mother. Every day you see my mother suffering, it's worse. Then you see them 1 week once in the nursing home. It's different, totally different. This few days,
my dad did come and stay with me, so I know how it feels like. So I know that home is still the best. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to each his own. What I'm saying is, I'm seeing my mother right now these few days, so I have my I feel very sad. Anyway, I don't discuss.
Dolly, your
Sorry?
mother is suffering from dementia?
My mother is suffer from chronic illness, not really dementia. When you got dementia, you will not have chronic illness such as Parkinson's. So my mother is in Parkinson and chronic illness stage right now. And this few day condition have been very bad. So I look at it. Okay, that's all. I make up my mind what I want for myself. Okay, like what you all said. Yes, sharing with friends of same like mine, it will be good. But this type of same like mind sharing friends together, really have to plan. You really have to plan ahead.
I want to ask you, Dolly, I want to ask you. No, yeah, planning ahead and the money is one thing. If, I mean, sorry to be quite direct, I know, because we are going through all this. If you cannot stay with your mom, how do you expect friends like now together to be able to stay with someone that is
no, it's not that I cannot stay. What I mean is when you reach up to stage 4, there's no way even your good friends or whatever, your family members, all this that can be forever full attention already. It really can't. You see, today I see my mother for the whole day. I don't know what happened. I don't really don't know what happened.
This is called burnout already. Burnout, caregivers burnout.
I will not use the word burnout because I just don't know what she wants right now. From morning till now, she has been making a lot of noises, but we are at loss. We are at loss. Okay, then I just move on. I just want to share the part my opinion. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dolly. What about Sally? Sally Fu?
Oh, you asked me a challenging questions lah. Dolly, just calm down a bit. I know how she feel. I don't have parents like that. I mean, my parents already left, only my mother-in-law. But then again, if I were in old age stage, like what Dolly said, stage 3, you have to start planning already. Because you at this moment, you see the children, when you talk to them, they, when you are able, they already talk to you like that. So when you're disabled, how would they feel? They will get so frustrated. They got their own job to do. They have their own family to take care. So when you come to stage 4, when you're totally immobile, best to stay at home. But right now, can save money, because you'll never know that when the time comes, your children will pay for your homestay.
Okay, just an interruption. Actually, there is a Mandarin saying, Chinese saying, old Chinese saying, that says that sickness will turn your kid to become, turn your children to become not filial. It's a Chinese saying. 病无孝子. 对对对, yeah, correct.
久病床前无孝子.
You see, if you have, sorry to interrupt. You see, if you have a normal thing like you got you got diabetes, you know, you cannot walk, you're partially immobile. The fellow is still saying no, but he is frustrated. Then he will vent your frustration on us, you know, or maybe I will vent the frustration like my father. He vent his frustration, and my mother, you know, shouted at her and all that kind of thing. But thank God that he has a rest in peace lah. But what about those, you know, that is senile, like she said, Parkinson? My husband's grandmother, she start yelling at people, she curse and swear at people, she use abusive language, you know, how you feel? We are normal human, you know.
Yeah,
you will feel
this
the
is
frustration at the end of time, you know. So
actually,
in the
yeah.
end, they got no choice. They send her to a home, and then she start cursing and swearing at every nurse attendant, you know.
Okay, that is a sign of that's dementia lah. Actually, dementia, there are some ways to take care of it. I experienced taking care of my mother for about 5 to 6 years. Dementia, you know? That's another topic we talk about lah. Dementia, because you can manage dementia actually pretty well. At
What
first, we don't
happens?
know.
What happens if you have dementia and stroke at the same time?
Oh, if you get dementia and stroke at the same time, they won't be able to scold you.
That one you put at home.
It's only when they're still physically fit, they'll be scolding you, they'll be accusing you of all the things and all that. My mother was quite mild. She just want to go home. Every time she just want to go home. No use arguing about you at home, no? Because they won't believe you. So for me, after a while, I read a book. I just went to learn. You got to play along. So we pretend to drive her home, you know. So I put her in the car. At first time, put her in the car, drove one round and say we're at home. And then the whole night is peaceful, you know. If you don't do it, the whole night will be just that kind of thing, you know. In the end, we simplify it so easy. We just sit her out on the bed and rock her and say that we are driving now, going home. Then after a while, you say, okay, we are home. And then that's it. So there are ways, if you have dementia, right, there are ways to learn how to cope. I mean, there are, of course,
yeah, saying is easy. Sorry to interrupt again. Because you see, my classmate, I love her parents, okay? I was surprised. I thought the mother go first. The mother dementia for 8 years and also on stroke. She's on tube. You know, every day they got two mates, you know. It's not easy. When a person is bedridden, wow, they're like a big rock, you know, to turn them over. So they have to have two mates. But thank God the whole family all doctors lah, you know. But it's the stress lah. The stress level is very different. Saying is so easy, discussing is so easy. But when we really in that shoes, I tell you, it's totally different.
Correct. I think if it's a medical dependency, tubes, dressing, all the, you know, catheter and all that, is a very challenging situation.
Yeah. Yes, agree.
Okay, maybe we move on to the next person, Alan Ang. Alan, can you please speak up?
Sorry, give somebody a chance.
Can you speak closer to the microphone, Alan?
Yeah, sorry. Give other people a chance. I'm eating.
Okay, can we have LM Lee? Okay, we move on. Catherine Soon?
Driving, talk later.
Okay, Ju Sing.
Okay, I must say this problem, there's no one standard answer in the sense that there are many factors to consider. One important factor is the medical condition of the person involved. Two is the commitment of family. Three, there are other things that involve financial. So I think it's very hard to give a standard answer to this. And I must say that I went through a few persons, even my own family members, and I said it's not easy. It's really, really not easy. No matter how filial you are, sometimes you can drain all your energy off from you, especially if you have to work for a living. If you come home and your parents are fully unwell, I tell you, let's be very frank and straightforward to you. I am a Christian, by the way, in case you don't know, okay? It's not easy. You drain all your energy off, okay? Imagine you work a whole day, come back, then your parents are not in the right mind. I tell you, it's not easy. You have to surrender to the medical people under that. It's not easy, to be very frank with you. The other things that you got to understand that some people have a family, their children, their commitment. So how many commitment can we live up to? In the modern world, it's different from our older days. One person working can finance everybody in the world. One person can handle 100% work. Now a couple working outside, there are a lot of work stress. They go home, some of them bring their work home even. They have to attend so many factors. So I mean, all this must be taken into consideration. And to be fair to everybody, I never comment on people who put their parents in the old age home. I say unfilial or something like that. I think we shouldn't look at it in that way. Sometimes it's forced to. Sometimes it may be better to do that even. You see, because the thing is that how we best accommodate and so they optimize the whole situation. I sorry to use the word optimize. Some people say, well, you're very hard-hearted to your parents. How you talk like that? But the thing is that you have to be practical in life. If you come back home and you can't handle all the things, you end up worse, no? You end up the whole day you go back to work, you lose your tempers easily, to be frank with you. Why? I still human. I'm not God, I'm a human, okay? So the thing is that there are a lot of factors to consider. And then for ourselves, now we are discussing about stage 3 and stage 4. It's good they bring out this question. That's why I joined them for stage 1 and stage 2. Exploring the possibility of JB side. In fact, I got a place in JB actually. Yeah, I prepared to retire there also. The thing is that cost is one of the main reasons. The other thing is that the pace of life. But lately I just realized, just to share with all of you, I got friends who are staying in JB, and they had to force to come back to Singapore, no? Because they understand that if you got this COVID-19, their hospital are not going to attend to you, no? You have to come back to Singapore, no? So you're supposed to come back and rent a place to stay. Although you got a house in JB actually, you see. So these are factors you have to consider. So well, given this is a good lesson that I learned. So I realized that so under such condition, even you are as a foreigner in Malaysia, not easy, you know. Certain things you're not entitled to. And then I must say that there are lists of consideration. I think primarily the most important is the medical condition of the person affected. Secondly is the commitment of the person. What other commitments you have with you? Thirdly, are you able to do it? You see? So of course, it's best to have your own family members around you. But is it always the best? If you say you're like me, a gundu like that, not sound in any medical aspect, all the medical things you don't know, don't know how to handle people properly, not good at all these things, they end up in the mess actually. But some people are very good. I must admit, I got a friend who took care of his parents very well, no? Very well, no? Fantastic. I thought he's a nurse, but he's not a nurse, by the way. He's very good, just simply born in that way. So it depends on personality, a lot of factors. So I must say that one must consider all these factors before you make a sound decision. Don't make an emotional decision and say, come on. Or some people like this sort of phrase, hey, your parents bring out all the way, how can you put your parents in your old age home? They make all sort of funny statements, sounds so grand, so high-handed of that. But in practice, have you thought of the consideration? Can you handle or not? If you can't handle, it becomes worse. For the person you're supporting and for yourself. Okay? So I just want to give share my real thoughts with you that I've gone through myself. Thank you.
Okay, maybe we'd like to hear from Sam Goh.
Oh, okay. Personally, myself, I don't have to worry about whether I'm in stage 3 or 4. Okay. After being so many donkey years in JB, helping the charity in the disabled center and a nursing home, right? I think a few years back, 2 or 3 SAC members did visit me and asked me to recommend them a nursing home. And then I brought them there and then they said, well, fantastic, Sam, it's good. So myself personally, I will not want to, sorry? Okay, myself personally, I will not want my children to bother me. I already decided myself, right, that I will die in JB and cremate me, then throw my ash into the sea. That's it. And nursing home, so far as I got know on my own contact, and they really want me to stay there because they said I've been helping them for so many donkey years. So I got no problem when I got in stage 3 or stage 4. I'll be in JB, that's for sure. Over.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. And what about Jenny Gunn?
I fully agree with Dolly because Dolly has a very valid point. When you're in stage 3 and 4, stage 3 you already start preparing already. Stage 3 you may not want to even stay in your own home. You might want to consider going to a nursing home. But like Daniel say, there are different qualities of nursing home. They range from for nursing home, not retirement village. Retirement village is for 1 and 2. Nursing home, they range from 5,000 to 8,000 to 10,000 in Singapore. You're talking about Sing dollars. So Sam has a good point that if you want your money to stretch, JB may be a better place. But I also have looked at a place in Ipoh called Green Acres. It's huge, big area. You have your own home, and I wanted to go with a group of people to visit Green Acres, but haven't done it yet. You go and Google Green Acres and then find out, because
How's
the
the
word Green Acres came from a movie of old people. Sorry.
how is the medical facilities there in Green Acres?
The person who started it is a nurse. The husband is a contractor. They bought big pieces of land. Medical facility is, according to them, is Australian standard. But JB, I need to go with Sam one day. Sam, I go and visit your place one day, because I think that if you want good, very expensive in Singapore lah. Your is easily 10,000, 8 to 10,000 lah. If not, by 5,000, you go walk into that home, very smelly, urine smell, shit smell, everything. Be prepared to pay 8 to 10,000 a month.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny. What about Daisy Tan?
For me, I think it really depends on the situation. Depend on your daughter-in-law, and and also depend on your own condition. Also, if it's really, really very bad, then it is definitely to be a nursing home. Yeah. If it's not really that bad, then should be at home lah. In my mother's case, she got dementia, and now my brother and myself taking turns to take care of her. Yeah. Hers is the mild type, not the cursing type. So the current situation is like that lah. Yeah.
What about yourself, Daisy? For yourself?
For myself, as I say, it depends on my condition. If I'm healthy, it'll be at home. But if it's really bad condition, I think it's better at nursing home. Yeah. But nursing home is actually, people always say you send someone to nursing home is actually a deathbed for them lah. Yeah. That's because condition there would not be the same. Yeah. And people actually die faster at nursing home. For all I know, yeah. That's all.
Okay, maybe we move on next to June. June Heb.
Okay, I personally prefer to be at home. It's really not to my choice. When we are at the stage, it's your children's choice. So right now, I can say I want to stay at home, but it's not really my wish.
Okay, Bobby, are you there? Okay, let's move on. Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Can you please?
Okay, having heard quite a number of people express their preferences, I think it's more important that, first of all, you know your own preference according to your conditions. And more importantly, you need to let your loved one knows what your preferences are before you come to that stage. Because you can choose something, but your loved one or your kids can choose something else for you. So secondly, I think it's also important that you need to get your paperwork done, do your LPA, do your AMD, all these things. At least doctor will certify accordingly. Let's say you are of unsound mind, then probably you may need to be put in the nursing home. But if other than that, if you are able to be of sound mental facility, I'm sure you can decide what you want to do. All a matter of cost, whether you are willing to pay the cost. Personally, I prefer to stay at home. I mean, as long as, let's say, I get 2 mates or even 3 mates can attend to my daily needs, even though I'm stage 3 or stage 4, but I'm mentally of sound mind. I can still enjoy watching TV. I can still, maybe greet my loved ones and still recognize them. But if not, then that's where the LPA and the AMD kicks in, where your loved ones will take over the decisions on your behalf. So a lot of possibilities which nobody knows. When the time comes, then you will know.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonathan. What about Laura?
Oh, okay. I'm listening to all the options. So I like to explore more and find out more. So I don't mind following Sam go to visit his JB home. Yeah, sometimes we don't have a choice. Our children may not have the time or the knowledge or the capability to take care of us. Yeah, and then I think 8 to 10,000 is a lot of money, especially if you just got one kid or two kids. Even you share also is quite a lot of money. So you must have enough savings to bear that kind of cost.
Okay. What about you, Jesse? Okay, let's go back to, how about you, Jean?
For me, because I only have a daughter, so I think it depends a lot on her. It's not so much on me whether I want to stay at home or I want to go to a home. If I reach that state, I'll be fine whether she put me in the home. If she's comfortable, put me in the home, I'll be happy. If she put me in the nursing home, I'm also okay, because I don't think at that point of time I have a lot of choices. Like, so I'm fine with both. Because I have taken care of my Asian parents before, and it's not easy, I know. But I have also seen my friend who loved the mother so much that she want the mother to be with her in the home, in their own home. So if my daughter has that filial heart to put me at home because she wants to see me daily, she can cope. Yeah, I will stay at home. But if she thinks that it's very challenging for her and she wants to put me in a nursing home, I'm also fine with that, because I know it's not easy to take care of somebody that kind of condition. That's all.
Okay, Jesse? Okay. Anybody likes to give the comments before I ask Ong to move on to the next topic?
Let me share mine. Now I park my car. I can say a little. Catherine here. I have experienced my late mother-in-law. She had dementia, and it was really stage 4. I think we had about 8 to 10 years. I had her at home. We all look after my husband and myself, and we employ a maid to look after her. I wanted to show to my son that, in future, I was really planning for myself. In future, should anything happen to me, that will be the place, my own home, and get a maid or two or whatever, I told him already, I will not go to a home. I've seen my own maternal grandma going to homes and being ill-treated and all that, and I don't want that kind of experience, ill-treated, abuse and all that, I don't want. Home is still the best, I only have one son, by the way, I only had one son. So, we have the means. He can always employ 2 or 3 maids to look after me, or get a doctor in every now and then or whatever. We are talking about stage 4, not stage 3. I still think that is still okay, Of course, if I can go over to JB, that would be even better, because it's far more economical than Singapore. Yeah, so my preference is still home, because after having experience looking after my mother-in-law who was demented. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. What
Yeah.
about Angie?
Yeah, hi everyone.
Could you come closer to the microphone?
Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Actually, I'm a little bit confused by, it's not very clear, because when they say home, just like Catherine, when she said home, does she mean stay at home or go to home? Sometimes, like when she said that she go to JB, right?
Yeah, a bit confusing.
Home, so it's not home. So because you are saying that you want your son to know that you don't want to go to a nursing home. So I've been listening to a lot, and not quite clear what the rest are saying actually. Yeah.
No, sorry. Am I talking with? I actually mean when I mean my own house, my own home. That is Singapore. But if I can go overseas, like the JB, and stay in not a nursing home again, I'm talking about my own place where I can employ people to look after me, not in a, the structure home, but my own house, Okay.
But you wouldn't expect your son to follow you to Malaysia, right?
I don't need my son. I have some in-laws in Malaysia or in JB for the matter.
So glad for the clarification because
yeah,
when you mentioned that way, it sounded as though you were prepared to go into Malaysia.
Not, yes.
Yeah, so now I understand. So
Not
actually,
a home, not a nursing home, but a home whereby my in-laws will be around. I'm talking about the young in-laws, no, I'm talking about nephews and all that.
because that was silent, so we couldn't figure that out,
Yeah, okay.
For the clarification. As for my own preference, actually, I find this session quite useful because it's the first time I'm thinking seriously about the topic. And I have not sort of made up my mind. I'm gathering all the feedback and it's really valuable. And I hope that, in time to come, I have a clearer idea what I prefer. But just from today's session, without knowing exactly how much it costs, you ask me what is my preference. I have only one daughter, and she is in New York, and she does not plan to come home to Singapore. So actually, essentially, I'm all alone in Singapore together with a lot of siblings, nephews, and nieces. But I do not expect my siblings to take care of me because they will be aging at the same time as me because they are around my age too. And I cannot be expecting my nephews and nieces to have this burden on me. So actually, I'm lost because my only loved one, she's in the States and she doesn't want to come back to Singapore for the time being. So right now, in my mind is that I must make sure that I'm very so that if I can, I would want to stay in my own home, and I must have the ability to hire two maids to look after me because I do not want to stay in a nursing home. I know that you have to send your parents and you're prepared to go. But what I'm trying to say is that so long as I can hang on and so long as I have the financial resources, I would not want to go to them because if I pay for two maids, these two maids are dedicated to look after me. If I can afford it, that's what I prefer. If I end up staying in a nursing home, not because the nurses there are bad or anything like that, but it's just a question of how much attention can they give to you? Because two manpower there have to be maybe 10 people. So it's a question of finances. If I can afford it, I will never want to do it. Right? And that is when I am lucid and I can think and I can know that whether I'm suffering or not suffering. But when I reach the stage whereby I do not even know, I have no consciousness already, then it really doesn't matter. Then I should go to a nursing home because at that stage, it will be actually at that stage, it's actually managing my demise to the end already. The quality of my life actually is not so important because I've already lost my mind. So it doesn't really matter. In fact, don't get shocked. It would be good, if where we reach a certain stage whereby our quality of life is useless, all right, and we are burning up so much financial resources, even if it is our own, that we have an option to ask for euthanasia because you're no longer conscious. You know what I mean? So what's the point? It's only evil or hurtful. Okay, I'm not a Christian. I don't have any religion. Maybe that's why I say this, but it's just an opinion. So I hope you all will not be angry or anything like that. I'm just thinking that if you're no longer conscious of yourself, your mind, your body, and your body is just rotting away, you might as well. I might as well go. It doesn't matter. All right?
Singapore don't allow.
Yeah.
But Singapore don't allow.
Yeah, Singapore.
Actually, there's a step closer lah. It's not at euthanasia, but you can do quite a lot of your they call advanced care planning, ACP. Now and then you of course you also have the medical directive lah. Medical directive is that when you cannot you are not conscious, then you choose not to be resuscitated. That's one. That means you have already reached that stage. Then you choose not to be resuscitated.
Yeah.
Now they have this thing called ACP, Advanced Care Planning. That means before you go in for a big operation, you can discuss this with your doctors and with your loved ones, and you make known to them first what is your choice. So that's a bit earlier than before you even get into the stage where it's the medical directive. Then of course euthanasia is something that is been touted everywhere lah. So if you need to do, you got to go to Denmark lah.
Yeah.
But if you the one that brings you there, come back get charged, you know. one UK couple, I don't know the husband or the wife brought the spouse there, euthanasia, came back to UK, got charged for assisting in murder. So
yeah, I mean, euthanasia is I'm just mouthing it, but I know that it's like a very, very remote possibility. But maybe what you mentioned about this ACP, maybe if we can organize some talks, Terence, to let us know what is the doctor's definition of being able to put you into ACP. That might help, you know, because from what I understand is that it's not so easy for the doctor to certify that, you know, you are reached the point whereby.
Oh no, actually the other one called the medical directive, you need 2 doctors to certify that you are brain dead.
Yeah, but I
But
think
ACP is not, you have not even reached that stage. But say they is in preparation for say a major op, then you tell the doc at what stage and what kind of care you want, you know. For instance, do you want to tube feed? For instance, it was a big decision for me when I decided for my mom whether to tube feed or not, because the doctor will ask you. And that time, no ACP, you see. So now there's ACP, you can choose whether to go for tube feeding, whether to go for whatever lah. So those are actually guided medical decisions. I got a brochure, but I didn't go and read it in detail. But ACP, it's not done just like that. You have to be sitting in consultation with a medical professional and your family members to talk about ACP.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something quite new. I know they're practicing it now already in many hospitals.
The other problem which I have, just now I mentioned that if I can afford it, I can hire 1 maid or 2 maids or 3 maids. So after all, it's my money. I'm going to spend it all before I go money. But the problem with that is that at that very old age and very frail stage, I would not be able to manage the 3 maids.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I might not even be able to know how to use the computers and all that to apply for work permits and go to the maid agency.
You will know how to count the money also.
So I'm really at a loss, because then if my daughter doesn't want to come back to administer, then I'm not asking her to I'm not burdening her with looking after my care, because as many of you have mentioned, they also have to make a living, they also have to get on with life. But at least I think for some of you all have your loved ones who are able to administer, meaning hire the maid, supervise the maid, check whether the maids are doing their job. For me, I don't even have the confidence that my daughter will come back to administer this for me. You know? She's the only one. And if I count on her to administer for me, she literally need to decide to pluck herself out from US and decide to, you know, spend 2, 3 years, 5 years and come back to Singapore. And what if some of you may have children abroad, and what if they are so used to life overseas and they don't want to come back? So while I hope that I have the financial means to do that, I can't even find an administrator.
No, you need to look for LPA. That means lasting power of attorney. Either your nephews, your nieces, or you know.
I will need to you know look for someone to do that for me.
Right.
I'm afraid I have to stop this. I'd like to move on to the next person. Vincent He, can you give your response to Ong?
For me, I feel that it's not determining depending on whether where I want to go. It's depending on who my kids want to take care of me. Now I'm taking care of my mother who has dementia, and I can tell you it's not easy. It's not easy. Okay. When you lift her from the bed to the wheelchair, she'll pinch me, and she's angry. She'll spit at me, She'll spit at me. So she's I consider middle lah. Her dementia condition is not so like become like completely like my auntie like that. No, it's not. My auntie is worse lah. Though my mothers have the dementia earlier, my auntie, you see, the final stage of dementia is that your organ you cannot control, no. So my auntie the time towards the late stage she cannot swallow, no. She had to somebody had to feed her, my uncle lah. Luckily my uncle is no, that is old with a maid still can carry, So my mother still can recognize me, and every time he will ask a question, she can ask the same question every day 50 times, 100 times. At first I was very annoyed, but now I get used to it lah. So it's not easy lah. So for myself, I don't think, or I don't wish my son and daughter would do this for me lah. I don't know. So probably for me the option is nursing home. But I heard yours is so expensive, the nursing home. Is it really that expensive? 8,000, 10,000?
No, I think what she
The
was
good
referring
one.
to is the private ones lah.
The
But
private one.
even the government subsidized ones without subsidy, just for the bed alone, they charge you depending on what stage you are in. If you are bedridden, they charge you higher. If you are not bedridden, it's a bit
They
lower.
say, okay.
But even for the government aided ones, it's like 3,000-4,000. For the
government, they call it a VCO or something like that. Voluntary
you know,
VCO.
like Guang Wei Shu, this friend of mine, the both parents in like Guang Wei Shu, it's actually without subsidy, it's actually 3,000, and that's the basic, Everything else, you got to pay, Pampers.
But you go for mean testing or something like that.
Yeah. So,
because if I'm at the age, so probably I got no income already. So I don't know. I think I will be eligible for some sort of subsidy, right?
The means testings, I was trying to find out about means testing. I've got another friend.
Yeah, means testing.
They asked to look at your kid's bank account.
Oh, okay.
They asked to look at your bank account, then your kid's bank account, and what kind of home you are staying in, all that kind of thing. Plus, on top of that, you got ElderShield. ElderShield covers up certain things. So this friend, finally, they got a subsidy. They are still paying like 2,000 plus a month.
Oh.
That's today's rate, That's today's rate, By the time you get old, things will be quite different.
Okay, I'm sorry I have to move on to another person because we're running short of time. Can we have Boy E to give your comments to Ong's question?
I got no comments.
Okay, can we move on to Jessie Au? Okay, so no Jessie. What about James Chan? Okay, all right. Then in that case, we will round this up. Ong, can you please round it up because we have only 13 minutes.
13 minutes.
13 minutes.
13. Okay. So basically, I think, of course, there's no straight answer. A lot depends on your own family background, whether you have enough support, and with your own condition. Actually, many years ago, I always thought, why do I want to put somebody in my parents in a nursing home if it's cheaper to have them at home? Actually, my mom was at home. We had one maid, and then had to have two. Plus, the dementia was getting a bit worse, and she was without medical condition because no medical problems, But I know of people even with dementia and get very serious type, they will mess the whole place up with the feces and all that kind of thing. The whole bed, the whole room. You know, my first experience I heard when I was quite a young man was a relative. One pair, the the husband was demented. The wife, old lady, looked after him. He smeared the whole room with feces and all that. And this old lady, one person, in the end got so angry, every now and then would just slap him. And after that, go to regret, that beat up the husband. So a lot depends on our stage. But if you are a dementia and you end up in a home, they tie you up. I think that's something that I don't want to do, to get out, not to be tied up. So we all have to, I think we all have to see our condition, and then we have to decide. But I think what is more relevant is, if we cannot stay at home and we don't want to stay in a nursing home, then actually all the back of my mind was one option is that we have to band together and to ensure that a nursing home kind of standard within a nursing home. That means if we can band together, stay in houses and run it with somebody got to look after the helpers. So the able ones that still can look after will have to look after. And hopefully you get people to join in later, and then they look after the helpers when you get older. You need a big group of people that can keep this rolling and running. Of course, someone mentioned staying in the home together is not easy, I'm sure, because when we get old, we get very fussy and we get very set in our ways. So that's one thing that also need to accommodate. But this is something that I think for the moment, since we got only 15 minutes, we just got to think. So, like I said, originally I thought that why send to a nursing home if you can look after your own ones at home, But I think there's come to a stage where if it's a very bad medical condition, tube feeding, catheter, wounds changing, then every now and then you get it's like a medical emergency, but you don't know, it's quite taxing, and it's you really need to have somebody really dedicated, and to keep everybody safe, whereas in a nursing home, they'll know what is a medical condition that is emergency, what is not, you see. If you're at home, everything is an emergency, because you don't know about anything about it. So that stress is really there. Maybe we all have to have just got to start our up there thinking and be prepared.
Okay, Ong, what I'd like to ask everybody is, we will have a few more sessions on this aging stages 3 and 4. Can you give your suggestions very quickly before 11 p.m.? What would you like to discuss? All right, and now we will find appropriate EOs to host the event. Anybody got any suggestions, please?
I would like to find out the cost. Okay, Sam said you said JB that should be cheaper, right? So I want to know the cost in JB as well as the cost in Singapore.
Actually, I have a friend in KL. I told you, this one that sent the family back. They stayed in a bungalow that's converted bungalows to many rooms. I think quite rooms, but the mother could bring the own TV, the own fridge, the own washing machine, and everything into her own room, run by a doctor. And the home grew quite big, many homes in the end, and they only paid like 4,000 ringgit.
4,000 is less than one. Oh, it's about 1,000 over lah. 1,000 over.
But it's your own room,
But how come in nursing home you can bring your own things there? Oh.
No, I mean they run it quite differently. They run it like a home. I mean, unlike Singapore, Singapore has got lots of regulations,
But Singapore, I feel is safer. At least there's no the regulations there. But we heard of this Florence nursing home. They flout the law. So
yeah.
But generally, I think I don't know the nursing home in Singapore should be quite safe one. They won't is it?
No, it all depends.
Is there any other topics that we like to cover so that I can write it down?
Okay, Terence, Bobby here. Terence.
Yeah, okay,
I
Bobby.
think
Yeah,
still
because
the bottom line is the dollar and
Bobby,
cents.
Bobby, can you please go ahead?
yeah, okay. I think there's one thing very important is to get everybody when since we are aging, we got to get our LPA, AMD done. Because now until August, from what I heard from my lawyer, you can get it free. You don't have to pay the $80 until end of this month. So I think everybody should get it done. Then the other thing, important thing also is the will, because there will come a time when somebody will pass. And then if you have a will, the cost of doing the administration is much cheaper. A lot of people, they try to save on the will, then they don't do a will. When the times come, the administrator, the lawyer will charge a higher fee for the administration cost.
Okay, thank you
That's
very
one
much,
thing,
Bobby.
yeah.
Okay, what else? Anybody else got any points to raise so that we can put that into the agenda for future programs?
I like to ask about, I know of people engaging foreign nurses to look after them in their own house or in their own homes. I like to know the costs. I mean, this is one of the items that I want to look into it. Nurses, we are talking about qualified nurses from other countries, not necessarily Singapore.
Okay.
I know of a friend.
Can we move on to the next subject matter, next topic, please? Topics for the next session.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. I mean, the next session.
Okay. Okay, noted already, Catherine.
Yeah, okay.
Who else got any other topics to raise? Okay.
Terence,
Hi.
Yes,
I think
go
it's
ahead.
important to find out all the subsidies that all the elderly can get. Something like the government's benefits. So find out all that you all can be subsidized, and also the cashier life, whether you need to buy it or don't need to commit. So cashier life will take over ElderShield in time to come. So if actually the payout is as years go by, it will go up lah. The initial payout is $600 per month.
Okay, and we don't need to go into the details. I just want the topic only.
Yeah, this the all the shields. I mean all the
Okay,
benefits.
Next.
Yeah.
Any other topics?
Terence, maybe you can enlist the help of James Chan to give us some idea of some of this nursing home in JB side.
Who is James
Yeah.
Chan?
James Chance is muted there, sitting at the corner there.
The gentleman who mentioned just some of the, I think he knows more, maybe he can tell us more.
No lah, Sam lah.
No, it's not me lah. I think the wrong person.
Then another the corner.
Sam was beside you, yeah. Sam.
Okay, next. Any other topics?
Maybe I think you all should look at it. Besides JB, can there be another country? Why stick only to JB?
It's nearer to our place, ma.
No, I think
Singapore, ma.
I think there's a good reason. Number one, like you said, nearer to your place, at least there's a chance your kids will visit you.
Hopefully lah.
Number two is the MediSave. MediSave can be used in Malaysia in a few appointed hospitals. So in JB and Penang and Malacca, I think there are a few hospitals that you can still use. So just in case you need it, you can still use it in the hospitals. And then I think culturally, food and all that is quite easy lah. Then in language and all that is quite easy. Probably that's.
Any other topics that we can include in our future session?
Yeah, all the dollar and cost.
And the level of treatment in nursing home, the level of care. This is also important. cost
what
is the
about you,
main thing.
Jonathan? Any suggestion, Jonathan?
Hey, Jonathan.
Jonathan, he muted.
Yeah, he's
Nothing. Maybe what I'd be interested in is maybe the types of insurances that can help seniors. Let's say, I believe there's this thing called ADL, the assisted daily living activities. So that would be one
Those
topic.
are the benefits that I've mentioned, including everything.
I'm not selling
under
insurance,
Elder
by the way.
Shield, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, those are elder shields. Elder shields.
Elder Shield.
Then in the end, will be cash shield. Yeah.
But it's supplementary, I think, because I think if we stay at home, we definitely need 1 or 2 mates, and that will help to alleviate the cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Terence, I would like to share reference back to my late mom passed on. Before she passed on, she got to use a pamper, and adult pamper to buy in Orange Valley nursing home where she stay is hell costly. So what I did was that I don't buy all medicines in Singapore. I go JB. I pay ringgit, and it's damn bloody cheap. Okay, and quality is the same. It's only the brand is not there. But whatever ingredient on the medicines, I can tell you, don't go to Plani or Sentosa. That's where all Singaporean tends to go there and buy. Right? I've brought quite a number of SEC people to around the area like Masai. You go to the pharmacy where they are far away from the town. They'll be cheaper. Right, Terence?
Okay, all right, noted for future discussion. Anything else, everybody? Okay, if not, I will allow for free chat, and everybody can talk among everybody, and then we will close the session at 11 p.m. sharp.
11 p.m.
Okay, go ahead.
10 minutes.
Sam, you mentioned, not Sam, sorry, I think it's Jenny Gunn. While I was driving, you were talking about Green Acres, right? Green Acres, you mentioned, I know it's a home, but quality-wise, how good or what's the standard like? You say you heard about it or you know something about it, right?
Yeah, this Green Acres actually send their brochure to NUS. I'm in the NUS senior alumni, and then the brochures are quite good. For stage 1 and stage 2, you get your own house. You actually buy your house. Let me give you an example. You buy a house that is ringgit 300,000, and then their monthly maintenance is, if I'm not mistaken, is ringgit 1,500. Ringgit 1,500 monthly. They have a clubhouse, they have vans there for you to use to go to town. This is a whole township by itself. Then when you come to stage 3 and 4, you can sell back the house to them, but they say no matter how long you stay, you have to sell it back to them at 300,000 ringgit. So you own that house in a big village, retirement village. But when you come to stage 3 and 4, you can sell their house and then you can move into their apartment, their blocks, where you need nursing. So they have nurse, they have doctors. It's a whole big village area. And if you Google Green Acres Retirement Home, Green Acres Retirement Home Ipoh, you should go in, you should be able to see their Facebook, their pictures and all that now. But Ipoh is a bit far out. The only thing is, I think the land there, they managed to get a big piece of land, and the people who are doing it have actually linked up with Australian retirement home operators. So they are the wife of the owner is herself a nurse. So maybe that will be better. But I like the idea of Sam's JB, so I will also go and look at that. I have already thought, because I'm around 70 years old. I'm coming to 70 already, so I need to think of all this already.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's quite I like the idea of village, I mean a retirement village, but then you say by the time stage 3 and stage 4, you cannot live in your own cottage or whatever you call it, you know. Then
You
it's a bit,
shouldn't.
yeah.
You shouldn't, because you need help, because you are on a wheelchair, you are bedridden. So they do have another place for you to go to. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. They do have another place for you to go to. So when you have your own cottage, you can choose two bedroom or 3 bedroom. The price is about 300,000 ringgit.
Yeah, I've been to US, Washington, friends, this kind of places where, you know, they're not really ill, they're not this, but it's a flat, it's an apartment for every elderly person or, you know, couple or whatever. They always hear about death all the time. He says very morbid living in that kind of area. But they have nurses and doctors and all that. That is one good point about that. So, okay, thank you for the info, because I also need all this type of info as I go along. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Just now somebody mentioned about a bungalow in KL that's been converted into,
yes,
that's run by doctor. I know this. This is a Malay. This is a Indian Muslim doctor. That's why, because he's Indian Muslim, he could get a lot of permission from the government to set up this, to rent out these big bungalows. You see, I have been to the bungalow to see already. They do, because he himself is a doctor, so it helps that he will come and look. I've seen some of the patients there. The bungalow can have, they are big rooms, you know, so big, you know, they're bungalows. And inside the bungalow, you have, every room has its own sauna, toilet with own sauna. So you can imagine they can put in so they can bring in their own personal things. I saw this man was totally like in a semi-coma, tubes all over. He doesn't know anything, but he was there. Then I also saw another lady who says that she's a bit mobile, but she needs walking stick. And I talked to her and said, are you happy here? And she said she's happier in that home compared to another one that she's been to, because her son is a pilot in Singapore and stays in Singapore all the time. So she, being a Malaysian, she chose to go into this home. She said the food is not bad. She said, you see that my food is not bad. They have a cheaper, they can employ cheaper help compared to Singapore.
Yeah, you're right. He's a Muslim
Thank you,
doctor.
Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Ong, you got 4 minutes. Can you round this up?
I think so. I think we're just starting off. There are lots to think about. Our own choice as well as what is available. Actually, I think many of recently this lady about the KL and the Ipoh and JB. These are all options. I think with a bigger Sing dollar, we should be able to buy better quality over there rather than in Singapore. And we should start to look and start to prepare even before we reach stage 3. Hopefully if you get a group together, at least you go into the group, into the home together. The community is already formed. So you don't have to worry whether you fight with this or that, If the group cannot get along, then form a separate group and go into another home, right? And and then you won't be lonely anymore, Actually, of course, I think joining a group, joining a nursing home that's already established is a better way, because then things are already running. But we just want to make sure that the quality is there, and then that when you get there, you have friends there. So I suppose there are quite many more things to talk about, and maybe we all can share information and go and look at it. I have not seen the home myself. I heard only from this friend of mine that it's not bad, and I spoke to the mom. The mom was quite happy. The mom says that the doctor let her bring, and she brought her own washing machine and everything there, as if it's her own home. So their options are, you Google their options are. I have not seen Green Acres, but Ipoh sounds quite far away. but the kway teow is not bad.
So coming back to this, sorry, this was the name, Terence. Terence. No, then we can have another additional item for discussion about, you know, homes not from Singapore, but homes from Malaysia, whether it's JB, Ipoh, Malacca, KL, or any part. I think this is one topic that we need to explore further. What do you think?
What kind of home?
Okay, I took it down and then.
Okay.
I think we'll have to close this session. Thank you very much, everybody, and good night.
Yeah.
I will leave the session on for about 10-15 minutes. If you wish, you may text chat one another, and after that, I will close at 11:15 sharp.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Ong.
Yeah, bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
11. Now it's 10:59.
We still can talk a little, you know.
Until
Yeah.
11:15.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can explore about more things. I mean, from what I see is a very interesting topic because it involves all of us, and then most of us do not really have a lot of children. So
Yeah.
these are the things that we really have to look into it actually.
Okay. If you all want to talk a bit further, we can set up another. We can continue. I can just I can organize another. We all can, unless you want to go to bed. Otherwise, you can talk until 12 or whatever.
There is another 15 minutes for you to continue.
Yeah,
as
just
stated by
another 15 minutes.
Terence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have been to Australia. I actually explore many places really because I only have one son, so I'm quite worried, concerned over my own welfare, because you never know. Son may be very good, you know, very filial, but you have a daughter-in-law, you don't know. So really got to prepare, you know. Yeah. So got to explore, you know, really got to explore, you know, further. I mean, yes, my preference is really to stay at home, my this very own home, to get a maid and then to a nurse as well. Then it's easier. I mean, I'm talking about stage 4. Then you are more in your own home. You are more comfortable. I mean, we are still human, no. We still got a mind, you know. We still can think, no. Doesn't mean that we cannot think unless we are dementia, then we can't say lah.
But Kat, this topic we are talking about stage 3, stage 4, no? Meaning is actually from 3 out of 6 that you can do till you are unable to do anything. No? We are not talking about stage 1, stage 2, slowly from stage 1 to stage 4. We are talking about stage 3 to stage 4. Okay, just now somebody was saying that okay, we got the amount of money, we can have 2 to 3 maids. But mind you, 2 maid in a household is not ideal suggestion at all. If you got 2 from the same country, worse still. I've been there, gone now there. I got 2 maids. I got 2 mates. Before right now, I stick to 1. I got 2, but I got 2, one from Philippines and one from Indonesia. They also got their differences. This one, I don't know why I must take care of mama. This doing this, why she do. But they don't understand why they are being put to different responsibility. At the end of days, there are a lot of arguments. Then you are the one you are the one the paymaster. At the end of the day, you have to resolve their problems, not the other way around. No, they are not helping you. So at the end of the day, I give up. I stick to 1 minute. So I'm telling you, you can have finances, you can have really big finances that can let you have maids, but 2 or 2 to 3 to 4 max. But
not practical.
Right.
Give you more problem than help.
Yeah. Never think.
It could be like that. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You
No,
can
it's
know,
not.
you know.
It's not. It could be. It should be because
Yeah,
I've been
they will look at the handphone, play games, talk, call, all this.
We just can't really share so much because
Yeah, they
I
have
just
so
have
much
to go
time for
around.
themselves, you know.
So I'm telling you, having 2 maids, not a good choice at all.
Yeah,
Just
true.
now somebody asked, they want nurse to take care, right? So
No, I think
nurse,
Dolly.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's true that some will quarrel and all that. But there are also, I have also seen two mates, but you need somebody strong to make sure
control,
that,
to make decisions.
No,
I think-
and to make sure that they line up lah, because not all the time is like that. Of course, it will happen, but you cannot rule that out as an option.
So-
you see, it's
so-
possibility also.
No, you're talking about something that you're staying out on your own and you have your convenience. That's why you're thinking of taking at least two may help you. But you have to think, like right now today we are talking about stage 3. Okay, stage 3 out of 6, I'm still able to do. I'm still able to see them. What about when you are at stage 4? That means you're totally helpless. They do whatever you think
No. You still need somebody to be in charge. That's why somebody must still be in charge. Either your siblings or you appoint somebody and all that. So if you are just alone helpless there, it won't work lah. No, you still need somebody. That's why we are saying, like Angie was saying, you need somebody still to be in charge, to take care.
You call that person a caregiver. You hear me?
The caregiver.
Yeah, caregiver. You must have a caregiver.
Yeah.
To manage your money, your purchases, and all that also.
Yeah. Right.
That's why it's important to have the LPA and the AMD. Then also now, as Ong mentioned, the aging care planning.
APC,
the one
advanced care planning, ACP.
Advanced care, yeah.
But
The
that
one
one
you
is
need
for
two doctors to certify, you know.
Yeah, even the caregiver also, you get your subsidy, and also you need doctor's certification. 3 out of the 6 disabilities that you cannot perform. There's one criteria. And also the blue, what you call that, means tested, and also the person cannot own 2 properties, all these. All those, it falls under your eligibility.
Yeah. You see, one thing about the homes overseas,
they don't care.
No, I mean, of course there is less rules there. That's why you can bring your own fridge.
You know why? In Singapore,
But because there's less rules, you're
Mhm.
also a bit worried about the standards, you know?
So in Singapore, especially the Merdeka and the pioneer generation elderly, right? They are being taken care of by the government of Singapore. The Singapore government will give you subsidies and they take care of you, right? Especially the pioneer group, they have a lot of benefits, okay? Come along with the Merdeka also, they have some benefits in healthcare and in Medishield Life, hospital stay, insurance covering, certain illnesses like cancer. You can actually it's covered, in a Medishield Life, and and on top of that, CareShield Life also take over from your. Now you all have ElderShield, right? Everybody has ElderShield. You
Yes.
have. So CareShield Life is important. If you want to sign up, you will receive a letter. Maybe actually this year or next year. Probably actually is this year, but because of COVID, they didn't expedite it. So you look out for the letter for CareShield Life. So sign it up, and the thing is the payout. 3 out of 6 certified by doctor and so forth. You get at least $600 a month.
Yeah, okay. All
On
this,
top of that, you still get your $100 disability one.
Okay.
month.
These are all the schemes available out there.
Yeah. So in Singapore, that is if you stay in Singapore. So if you go to JB and you go and pay 2K, 3K in JB, your all this benefit, you are not using it. So you are not
I
claiming.
don't know whether if you are somewhere else,
No. Out of Singapore, no. I can tell you, I know very well. So people who are in overseas, they cannot use all the benefits. They come back here, then they can
I
use
think
it.
that's the point, yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank God, point. You gotta
if
consider
you are in Singapore, you save quite a lot on this government scheme. If you are qualified lah. The best is, as I've said, I choose to be healthy. That's all. Don't
That's
think about it. Don't think about
no, no,
it.
no, that's running away from things that
No, 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 no. You have to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah. But up to a point, up to
No,
a point.
no. How you keep your brain healthy, how you keep your heart healthy, how you keep your
Like
body healthy.
Marcia like that,
There is all the way you can go and study about it. So far, so good for me. Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe one good thing to think about is if we want to have hopefully the better care at a lower
read a
cost,
bit.
we should go overseas.
Mr.
And
Ong.
I think you let Ong finish first.
Yeah, Mr. Ong, I think I know your point is to gather all these people here who have this like-minded lah, I mean to stay together in a home, right? So you all choose to set up a home overseas and see who is in favor of this, right?
No. Okay.
So
No,
put it
Basically,
in
it's not,
point form lah.
practical.
No.
When you reach
Basically,
the stage, I don't think so. It's practical.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's not easy for us
Yeah,
to
not
set
easy.
up a home in somewhere else. I think what we could do is that number one, if we all think that if we think or the group of people think that it's probably cheaper after finding out and probably better, and then you want to go overseas to look for a place, then you should go together as a group, and then you can look after each other as a group, because in the home also you may not be taken care of. Number two is at least you have company.
Yeah, for stage 3 maybe interdependent is okay.
Yeah, I
Then
think stage 4 you have to come
stage
back
4
Singapore.
is out of the story already.
Yeah, stage 4 will be in Singapore likely.
So it's actually stage 2 you should push upward a bit. So
Actually,
that you have time to enjoy, time to spend your time.
Okay, actually, I always remember this thing. Remember there was a group called JB 1 and 2, stage 1 and 2? This guy, Chandra, he left. But what he said was quite wise. He says save money in stage 1 and 2 so that you can come back to Singapore to spend in stage 4.
Actually, all the while, you should have the financial already before retirement. So financial stage is already there, That is the stage 1 already have to be there.
Yeah,
you don't go over to save it.
No, I think
not done like that.
No. I think what he's saying is that over here, he says he rents his house. He rents out his house here. He go and save.
I see.
Live cheaper there, and probably have a better life there. But in the end, when you're stage 4, you got to come back to Singapore. You at least have some money because it's going to be expensive. When let's say we hit stage 4, we'll be in 10 years' time, things will go up even higher.
Yeah, correct.
Something to consider.
I think this 1-2 years like my nearby my place, my friend's husband, he has Parkinson and dementia and so forth. She actually lost his way and don't know the way home, So the wife put him in the home. So the wife told me it's 6,000 a month. My friend.
Yeah.
6,000 a month, and you can visit him every say twice a week or something like that.
No,
and he never get better. He never get better at all.
But dementia can't get better.
No, sometimes they let them do a lot of craft work, a lot of drawing, all that.
Yeah, but it's not going to get them. It's only slow down the rate only. It will not get better.
Yeah. I mean the thing is his condition is cannot be much better. It be like that, you see. Very difficult.
Maybe just to get an idea, how many of us will be willing to go overseas at stage 3?
Stage 3 will be too late lah. Stage 2 maybe.
If you actually want asking people to go, willing to go overseas based on this kind of condition, like what Anne said, we should start at stage 2.
Yeah.
No, at least stage 2 we go there and enjoy.
Yeah, you at least
Correct.
got interaction. You can
Yeah,
That's why,
actually
yeah,
take
you
care
go
of
at-
each other.
Right.
When you say, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not so well, I'm fainting. At
No,
least a friend
actually,
is with you. You see.
originally, remember there's a group called Stage 1 and 2.
We're not in, so
Yeah.
don't know. No, not
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. There was a group called Stage 1 and 2. I was involved. Everybody were more interested in talking about where to eat, what to eat, and where to go singing. So nobody interested in talking about about getting sick.
From there, it will come on board all these things.
No, so
very
rightfully,
fast.
it's actually true. You should.
Yes.
The Ipoh case, Green Acres is the best. That means you go there at stage 2, and then you progress to, you get promoted to primary 3 and primary 4.
No, when you reach, you go there at primary 2.
Primary
You
1,
stay there.
primary 2.
No, you don't need to go there at primary 1. You go there at primary 2. Then you stay,
that's why
you
it's stage
upgrade
2
yourself to primary 3. You come back Singapore for primary 4. That
Correct.
should be the best.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to me, I think this is the best.
Yeah, that's right.
Ipoh is quite a nice place, actually. Easy going.
Before you have to fly there, if you drive or take a transport by coach or whatever, it's very
If you
very
go, I think
tiring.
Penang is a better place.
You got to
Penang
fly
is
lah.
more vibrant. Penang. It's a
Penang
safer
will
place,
be more expensive. Let me tell you.
but more exciting. You got more facilities
no doubt.
there.
You see,
More Chinese there.
anything that go overseas or this that, they are they bound to have the good and the bad points that we have to look. Yeah, while you all can say that in Malaysia you spend ringgit, but you all forgot the transportation, the inconvenience of the transport. Nobody actually want to say. Nobody actually want to discuss. Or only want to say that, oh, I got this JB place very well, this place very well, but nobody touch on the word transport. Nobody touch. Well, this is why
The time you were saying
if you drive in
fly,
JB,
you
drive
go
in
by
Malaysia, it's very
budget
cheap.
air is very cheap. But budget air, and you buy it well in advance. Don't
No,
buy last minute.
no. What I mean is, if you're going to retire there, transport to where? Within JB or coming back to Singapore?
Oh, you say
coming back to Singapore.
Coming back to Singapore.
By
15 ringgit at 20. One way, one person.
By coach is cheap lah. If by budget air is not that expensive.
Yeah.
No, but
JB budget air man.
But of course, there are other considerations.
You're looking at Penang. Bobby Bob say, and who else say Ipoh? Yeah. So Ipoh all by air. What?
Now what I mean is, we just think whether by air, by transport, or this. No matter where, regardless.
Yeah,
regardless
you
of
take
which.
it as a holiday lah. You go to Penang, you fly as a
Okay,
holiday.
let's say you go and you stay there for 6 months, or 1 year, then you come back. So your to and fro is, like not everyday
like a
thing
holiday
lah.
lah.
Yeah, it's not like an
okay.
everyday transport thing, right? It's like 3 to 6 months. So it's not
Because
so
the transport there is actually not very expensive.
Over there, if
take
you
bus
go
or
by
it's
bus, it's maybe $1 RM or what? 1 RM or 1 something. They still very cheap their transport.
But many of us find that in stage 1 and 2, there's no need to go to JB. I think the last discussion proved the fact. Nobody interested when they're in stage 1 and 2, no?
Because all the makan subject come out, ma.
Yeah, makan lah, food massage lah, shopping lah, and everything else.
It's
Except
still like that. It's still like that at this point of time, you know.
Yeah.
Only that we cannot go because of COVID.
Oh, you did the first talk, is it? I missed the first session, is it? This is the second one, is it?
No, this is the first one.
First
What
one.
I mean
Oh,
is that
okay.
Stage 1 and 2, we discussed quite a few times before. Stage 1
Oh,
and 2.
okay. I missed that then.
That's
Because
but
I only joined today.
No, at this time he don't have stage 1 and 2. He only emphasized on stage
3 onward.
3 and 4. Yeah, that is today.
Oh, okay.
That is
Oh,
today.
okay.
So Su Chan, you didn't miss anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I appreciate very much. It's very informative.
Actually, I think 2 years ago or so forth, I have a friend. She we were having coffee, and suddenly she came up with this. She said, get an apartment or something in Penang, or she didn't say JB, Penang or wherever. get only those people who can get along. Let's say 4 people. If the house got 4 rooms, let's say
No,
4
I think this,
people.
I think this is very important. No? If you cannot get along, it
Yeah.
will be a big mess. No?
So she said, if the husband and wife will have 1 room, okay, then
You
you
think
can
they
have
can
5
get along?
people. Yeah. Then if couple, you have 8 people already. What? So wherever you go out, 8 people, 4 in a taxi, 4 in a taxi, right? So this is very ideal. So you can plan this way, lah. This is the idea, lah. So as I've said, if 4 people stay together, you can go out, let's say sightseeing, go for medical checkup, go whatever. 4 people can go together in the taxi.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
Apart from this, I've got friends in JB, and I know them. Their dad went to dialysis center in JB, privately run one. I also went to see with them. The cost of if you're on dialysis, I assume you'll be in stage 3 lah. You can consider stage 3. The 2 kids are working in Singapore, but the dad was from nursing. They came down to dialysis. Private hospitals in JB, not bad condition lah. I think it's not that bad lah, you know. But of course, if it's something very serious, you might want to come back lah, you know. So in Penang, they also have good hospitals. Malacca also. Malacca has got quite, you know, they got a few good hospitals there also. So that's something to consider lah, where you want to locate. Actually, maybe Malacca is a nicer place.
Yeah. So let's say 4 people, you gather 4 people, you go together for try out lah. My friend was saying try out 3 months go and stay. You will cook there, eat there together, and try out. No, now it's not stage 4, not stage 3 also. Try out, go and stay for 3 months. Leave behind your worries in Singapore, just go. You know what you do? You can go sightseeing, go everything.
Actually,
medical checkup, everything.
No,
to experience it, no, to experience it.
Getting a group together that can go along well is important. So
yeah, just 4 people. 4 people very easy because you get one apartment, 4 people stay there. 4 people only.
1 month is enough. You get into each other's way.
Oh, 1 month, 1 month also can. Because the suggestion was say 3 months lah. So you get the hang of it, right? So this is one way lah. You know?
Hey, when people
I don't know what you think.
When people go for a trip, 2 weeks trip, if they cannot get along, they'll know already.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think within 1 week you should be able to find out.
Yeah.
1 week too short. one week you won't see all the nasty thing yet lah.
Yeah, to have a rapport among each other is very important.
Sometimes it's not because it's rough. I mean, sometimes you just can't get
Okay,
along.
through let's say one don't say video call telephone call you roughly engage the person.
Correct.
Roughly, okay.
Yeah.
So I was told like after the call somebody will tell me, hey, I find you, you know, like that, you know. So the person is able to gauge. For myself also, I'll be able to gauge. So I'm convinced through a telephone conversation, you are able to gauge. Correct,
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's true, So roughly it's like that lah. How you go and get your kakis. And importantly, if you have a place, if you already have a place, it's good.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you got B&B, bed and breakfast, very easy to get accommodation. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, you have to pay like quite cheap lah.
It's quite cheap. Last time I went to US, B&B,
I know
1 month.
Malacca. I know Malacca very well.
Oh,
that's my hometown.
Oh, your hometown. How long you never go back?
Sorry, not my name. My late father's hometown.
Oh, late. Okay.
Yeah, because
my
we live in Bandar Hilir.
Yeah, my in-laws ancestors' home is there also.
Actually, in order to decide a place, I think you have to look at the medical facilities.
No, as you have said, Penang got so many amenities hospitals.
No, that's why I said Penang,
People
Malacca.
from Indonesia
Malacca
fly
and
to
JB
Singapore to see doctor, you know. They
Yeah,
they go there for operation. They even rent a posh sort of apartment or very expensive hotel at all the what area? The the coastal area there called what?
But you want cheaper, you go Thailand. Thailand also is quite cheap. Bangkok.
Yeah, Penang very convenient, and they trust the operation. They do the operation there.
I think Thailand now we got language barrier, so it's
Yeah,
not really a very
Thailand,
good choice.
They can speak
Thailand
English, you know.
quite
No.
scary.
Thailand nowadays, the doctor can speak English, you know. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking
went
about
there.
not only talk to the doctor. You're talking about you. There are other people that you will meet.
Let's say you want to do it all, right? The person did analyze that you are not being like able to understand what you are doing or what you should be operated on. After you sign on the line already, it's operate wrongly. How?
Yeah, you come, you got double eyelid, lor.
That is good, double eyelid. After
Instead
this, the scissors
no,
inside.
and instead of having your
Seal it up.
appendix, instead of having your appendix done, so
And took out something else.
Remove the wrong organ.
Then put the operating scissors inside and then you just seal it up and come back, you got the pain.
Yeah, not everybody, not all the
Then you
nurses
go back-
speak English.
Then you go back, you have to operate again, take out their scissors. There are cases like that now, I heard. I don't know whether it's a joke or what. Oh my goodness. Horrible. So this sort of thing.
yeah,
it happen,
probably Ong will be the best person to conduct a tour for us to
You
look
need
at
a
all
place
these things.
where communication is easier.
Just now I said that the 4 people stay together is up to your own self to go and seek, somebody. You can
Start
go
looking for companion.
1 month or 2 months or how long, or you say 1 week, things like this. No problem, right? It's like a short holiday, right? So that is one way lah.
So ask Ong, you go and plan.
Oh, this one you plan yourself. Actually you can plan yourself, but their scale is like
No, actually,
those people will come together, right?
probably
on your
probably
own.
one way is that informally you all form your own group of 3s or 4s, and then you can visit the homes, and then see which one is suitable. I
So
think.
if you don't go and stay in the home yet, you go and form your own group and stay
Oh yeah, of course.
stay on your own and experience it first.
Correct,
Then only you go and stay with the stranger and see how you feel. At least you have met people on Zoom and you have make friends already. So you are actually one grade higher than the stranger that you will be meeting, right? So at least you know people by face or know people, after you have talked to them.
Anyway,
Yeah,
if you are a group of Singaporeans and you go overseas, don't worry lah. Chances are you get along. You will have to get along lah.
Have to. Sometimes it's not necessary,
No, sometimes you may meet some hostile ones.
Yeah. It could be, out of a little thing, a
Correct.
storm out of a small teacup. Then you have
Yeah.
big problem. Tornado already.
Yeah, actually, common understanding is very important for to stay together.
Yeah. And also, language
Love.
barrier. Sometimes you say this, they might understand wrongly. Yeah, that also could be a part of the problem. Yeah.
The small group has to be very cohesive.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, this is something got to build up early lah.
That's why I say when you are mobile, stage 1, primary 1 should go already. Don't wait until primary 4. Correct. You can eat all the 酸甜苦辣 everything together first. So after you only can take the 甜, then too bad already, right? So at first go for all the 4 tastes first.
Make
酸
early
酸
preparations.
酸甜苦辣 all the 苦
对
first lah. Taste it
对
first lah. We all the taste lah.
Make early preparations.
Yeah, that's right. So that is one
Yeah.
thing.
We all have to think what we want for ourselves, and then
True.
actually also what we want for ourselves varies depending on our condition.
Correct. Correct.
Not that the money issue, like you say, I can afford like what all that. That is besides the point. Actually, you need the financial, that amount will be good already, right?
Yeah.
Which,
It all
which
boils down to individual financial commitments, like, actually.
yeah. So you
Alright.
don't need billions of dollars for that. You actually don't need. Yeah.
No, you see, the basic cost today for somebody going into Kwang Wai Shu at a subsidized rate, it's like $2,000 Sing.
Wow.
At a subsidized
2,000.
rate.
I don't know. The Malays they can get very good subsidy. They only pay like few $100 and all.
No lah. It's all the same. Singaporeans, Malay or Chinese, it's all the same.
Because they get, don't know, their association sort of.
No, MUIS is because
MUIS
is because they actually get the bill, then they after they go back
can
to
claim,
apply, claim it from MUIS itself.
So they got
It's
extra
not-
subsidies,
Yeah, it's from the MUIS
Yeah,
itself.
that's what I heard. Yeah, they can get.
Yeah, okay.
So for them is like very heavily
Subsidized.
Yeah.
They are very happy
Y'all can remember about the Nightingale, right? That's where they ill-treated the old folks.
The Nightingale case.
Nightingale, the one about Lee Road, it was in the papers, isn't it?
Yeah.
The man's mother was being ill-treated. Luckily, there was CCTV, right?
That one,
Sometimes we have to
got beaten up. The maid caregiver beat her, slapped.
Filipino.
Yeah.
So sad,
I tell you, sometimes it's not even in the own house, in the own house, it also happens. You know, this family I talked to you about the KL one. What happens when I visited them? The maid that they had was so fierce, So we actually went out. Wait, the mother was on wheelchair. We went out. I know them very well, so we went out to Genting, and I think Genting went out together.
Still goes in.
I noticed, I noticed, even getting up to the van, she wouldn't even help, So, actually, after the trip, I told them, I said, hey, this maid, I don't think is doing what she's supposed to do, But later on, they found out, actually, it's because of some problem within the home. The brother is at the back, doing instigating, So the maid has got another whole son, you see, somebody else instigating it. So she was very daring. So in the end, they decided cannot. So sometimes at home, might it also happen, If you don't have people around to look around. So especially when you are all, and she was very, the old lady told me, don't say. So the victim herself is worried.
Some they dare not say. If not, they get
they're not
the
saying
worst.
because you dare not. Otherwise, I may not lose whatever I'm having.
Very
now.
sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very
So
sad.
so actually, and it was true because
Silent abuse.
2-3 weeks after 2-3 months after I left, then they found out also that so that's why they in the end found this home to put her in. So this is something, well, we hope for the best.
Alright.
We can only try to make sure you don't get into that situation. That's why if you want to go to a home, you as a group, it still offers some protection, or at least somebody can look after. It doesn't mean that in the home you are safe too, but at least if you have a few people going in together, you can look after each other, is it?
Yeah, but provided now all on different condition now. If all also stage 4 condition, how to take care?
Okay, then,
already.
so that's why
I say.
Stage
2, you can actually get together and have the companionship.
then you got to keep on recruiting new people, is it? Keep on recruiting new ones.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought we're supposed to end already, 11:30.
Yeah. Okay, my battery running out.